Hello, I'm Bernard Norcott-Mahany. I work at the Bluford branch of the Kansas City Public Library, and I'd like to invite whoever might be looking at this video to come to the Black Classics, the next meeting of the Black Classics group that meets at Bluford every other month. Our next meeting is September 24th. That's the fourth Saturday of September, and we are going to be discussing this book. This Will Be My Undoing by Morgan Jenkins. And the subtitle is Living at the Intersection of Black, Female, and Feminist in White America. It's a collection of essays. Morgan Jenkins is a writer, an essayist, and her work has appeared in several magazines. She had written for the website Catapult, and is a professor at Columbia University. This was her first book. This Will Be My Undoing. It is the essays are quite interesting, and for me as a white male reading this by a black woman about being black, female, and feminist in white America, of course, there'll be a lot of eye-opening stuff for me, but I imagine there'll be some other stuff that may be eye-opening and some stuff that may lead people to say, oh yeah, that sounds right, when they read it. So again, I'd like to invite you to come to a discussion of This Will Be My Undoing by Morgan Jenkins. We will be having that discussion at 2:30 p.m. at the Bluford Library. That's at 31st and Prospect in Kansas City, Missouri, on September 24th. That's the fourth Saturday. We will be meeting in person in the conference room, which is the larger room at Bluford, and there'll likely be some snacks, as we discuss the book. If you haven't gone to very many book groups or are intimidated by things that might seem more highbrow to you, this is a collection of essays, which means, in a sense, you don't have to read the whole book. You can read 3 or 4 of the essays and still come and have something to say about the stuff that you read. So again, I urge you to consider coming. If you want to get a copy of the book, there are a few copies in the library system. There are some in Johnson County and some in Mid-Continent as well. And I think there's an e-copy if you use Overdrive or Libby. You can get the e-copy of the book as well. In fact, I have an e-copy of the book that I have on my Nook, so that's what I'll be reading. But you can order this on the Kansas City Library website, or you can call the Kansas City Public Library. The general number for the Kansas City Public Library is 816-701-3400. That will connect you with the downtown library. You can order the book to go to any of the branches in the system, but put a hold on it. You'll get the book. If you do get the book, well, at this point, it's not going to matter. The book checks out for 3 weeks, and we'll be meeting in about 4.5 weeks. So this should be plenty of time for you to get the book and still have the book at the discussion. Again, my name is Bernie Norcott-Mahany. I work at the Bluford Library, and I do the Black Classics there. There are lots of important works that are being written from an African American perspective that are worth everyone's reading. This promises, I think, to be an interesting and perhaps a somewhat lighter look than what we've been doing. We've been delving into more sort of historical stuff, and a lot of that, was somewhat gruesome. So this will be a little bit lighter than that. And of course, essays, I think, are quite beautiful because unlike either poetry, which is beautiful in its own way, or history, which has facts behind it, essays really reflect the personal. And in fact, the Publishers Weekly did actually say about this work that it was personal, inviting, and fearless. And Roxane Gay, an African-American writer, said that Morgan Jenkins, when this book came out, was definitely a writer to be reckoned with. So, hope to see you 4th Saturday, September 24th, 2:30 p.m., Bluford Library, to discuss This Will Be My Undoing by Morgan Jenkins.